in their business. She teaches grants. She teaches many things. She is a master of craft, Miss Joy Hunt. Joy, are you here with us today? We are ready. We are here. The crowd is hungry. Are you ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock. How you doing?
Doing amazing. The floor is yours. You have 30, 40 minutes. Let's rock it.
Okay. Let me get my slides up. I literally just hopped off. Literally.
I apologize. I didn't know you just hopped in. I could have gave you a couple more minutes, but that's on me.
You're fine.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can see her camera. Let's just do a quick tech check. Can you see Ms. Joy Hunt? Just put a 1 in the chat. Okay, we're good. We're good. If you could hear her audio clear, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat. And shout out to you all getting the Summit bundle. I already see a few of you all grabbed it. Congratulations. All right, Joy.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just talk. I'm gonna just talk until I get myself together. Okay. So how's everyone doing? So tonight I am going to be talking about why it is so important to have the proper business structure. Okay. Because our business structure is going to be the foundation of our business. It's really going to be the everything for our business. If our foundation is faulty, then everything that we build on our land is not going to be good. Okay, it's not going to be good. Okay, so I like to first explain why we need to have a business and why we need to have multiple businesses if you have multiple LLCs. So this is you. You may have a house, you may have a car, you may have money in the bank. So the second you're thinking about starting a business, we're not forming the LLC for the business, we're forming the LLC to protect you. Because if you're out here doing a business and you get sued, if I have Joyce Barbecue and I leave the ribs out overnight and everyone eats them the next day and they get food poisoning and sue me, and I'm running my business as a sole proprietor or a DBA, they're going to be able to sue me and get my personal house, my car, the money in the bank. Okay. So when you form an LLC, you're forming a separate entity, something that's separate. So same scenario. I got sued with the ribs. They would sue Joy's Barbecue and they can only get what Joy's Barbecue has. They cannot touch my personal home, car, money in the bank. So when you're forming your business, you're forming it not for the business, but to separate the business from you to protect your assets. Same scenario. Let's say I have Joy's Barbecue. Joy's Barbecue owns the real estate. Joy's Barbecue has vehicles. Joy's Barbecue has money in the bank. I'm thinking about starting Joy's Lashes, but I don't want to buy an LLC yet. I want to save my money. I'm just going to go get a DBA and run Joy's Lashes out of Joy's Barbecue until Joy's Lashes makes money. We don't want to do that because let's just say Joy's Lashes get sued. I put too much glue on someone's eye. It makes her contact stick to her retina. We pull it off. It makes her blind. She sues me for $2 million. I only have $1 million insurance policy. Now the entity is on the hook for $1 million. So Joy's Lashes was a DBA, which is nothing. They're going to be suing the entity. So they're going to be able to touch Joy's Barbecue, real estate, money in the bank, and vehicles, all because I didn't separate the two. So every business needs to be a separate LLC. So that number one, we're separating your assets from the business and we're separating the business assets. So if one business goes down, it doesn't affect the other ones. Every LLC or every corporation is a business entity. They can all apply for business grants. They all can apply for business credit or business funding. So the more LLCs you have, the more opportunities you have, and the more protection you're going to have for your business. So let me share my screen. So drop a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen. Can y'all see the screen? Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so let's get into it. It is grimy out here in these business streets, okay? It's eat or be eaten, killed or be killed. So we want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success in the beginning, okay? Most businesses are going to fail either due to lack of capital, and not having the proper structure is going to prohibit you from getting the proper funding that you need. So, who is Joy? I am Joy. I'm your business bestie. I have been a business and tax attorney since 2004, and I have been a serial entrepreneur since about 2006. And these are going to be some of the businesses that I have owned. So I'm going to be talking to you. I'm going to be talking to you about how we're going to form our business, why we need to form our business correctly. And why we need to form our business correctly in the beginning. Number one, we want to form our business with one is going to give us asset protection. It's going to make you look credible. You're going to be able to establish business grants and business credit, and it's going to reserve the name of your business in your state. If you want to reserve your business name in the US of A, you need to file a trademark, but an LLC will reserve your name in your LLC. When you form your LLC, you're going to get something called articles of organization. They'll look something like this. But when you're forming our LLC, you want to make sure that, number one, that we're not putting a personal address on our LLC documents. If you don't have a brick and mortar store, then you want to go and get a virtual address. A virtual address is not going to be a UPS mailbox, not going to be a P.O. box. It's going to be an actual commercial space that has like co-working spaces, conference rooms. But when the lender or the bank Googles your business, a commercial property will pop up. We don't want a house or an apartment popping up. So if you put your home address on your LLC, besides it going to be flagging you for high risk when it comes down to business funding, people can now also know where you live. We don't want, a disgruntled employee or an upset customer, looking up and finding your information and then rolling up to your house. You want to make sure that you get a virtual address. You also want to make sure that if you already have your LLC, that every single year you're checking the address for the registered agent. The address is going to be where someone's going to be contacting your business. So if you were to get sued, the lawsuit will be here. Maybe when you formed your LLC, you had a location A and now you moved to location B. Or maybe you have put your home address and now you moved somewhere else. If you move and you don't tell the state that you moved, you're not going to be able to receive your mail. I've had clients lose lawsuits not because they were valid lawsuits, but simply because they never received the lawsuit to be able to respond to it. Now you have the option of being member managed or manager managed. Most people will choose member managed, and a member is going to be who the owner of the LLC is. If you're member managed or owner managed, that means that the owner is going to be making the financial decisions of the business. So don't think about manager as a person who's clocking in, running the business. You want to think about the person who's making financial decisions, the person who can encumber the business, meaning can get debt in the business name, who can open up bank accounts, who can sign contracts on behalf of the business, who can borrow money on behalf of the business. So that's who is that's member managed, means that the owner or the member of the LLC is making those decisions. Well, sometimes people will choose a manager managed LLC, not a lot. The reasons why someone would choose a manager or someone else to be able to make these decisions is because the member probably can't make them. For example, some states will allow a minor or a child to be able to be an LLC owner. So if I'm making my son his own LLC, well, my son can't open a business bank account. My son can't enter into contracts. My son can't sign anything because he's only 11. So if you form an LLC for maybe a minor, you want the adult to be able to still make the decisions. That's when you would be manager managed. But most of the times you should be member managed, so that you don't give away your right to do all of these things for the LLC. Once you form your LLC, you're going to get your EIN number. It's free. You're going to go to irs.gov and get your EIN number. That's going to be your federal tax ID number, or like the social security number for the business. And then every LLC needs to have an operating agreement. That's going to be the contract for the business. It governs how the business should be ran. If you have a corporation, that's going to be bylaws. Having this is going to basically be a corporate formality. If you were to get sued, opposing counsel is going to be subpoenaing your operating agreement or your bylaws. And then we're going to have our business bank account, and you want to make sure that only business expenses are coming out of the business bank account. We don't want anyone typing our card for hair, nails, haircuts, those kind of things. Only true business expenses. But more importantly, you want to make sure that all the cash of the business is hitting the business bank account. If you're in a cash heavy business, you do nails, massages, hair, makeup, you don't want to make $1,000 for the day, and then on the way home you stop at Walmart and go buy groceries with that $1,000. Why? That money never hit your business bank account. Your business bank account is going to be the resume for your business. When you go to get a line of credit, when you go to get vehicle financing, when you go get a loan, they're going to ask you, how much does your business make? They're only going to be going off of what's in your business bank account. They're not going to be looking at cash apps and, I got money underneath my mattress. They're only looking at what does the business bank account have. Now, if you got to spend the money, it's no problem. Make sure that you deposit the money in the account and then just transfer that to your personal account to be able to use. But once the money hits your business bank account, now the business gets credit for that income. I always recommend, for cash flow reasons, that you always have multiple bank accounts. I suggest you having an income account, an expense account, a payroll account, and a tax/savings account. Your income account will be where your ACH or your credit card deposits are going to be going into, where all your cash is going to be going into. This will also be the bank account that we're going to be taking to the bank when it does come time for funding. Your expense account will have a check card and checks linked to it. That's going to be where you're going to be paying all of your bills. All of these accounts will be at the same bank. So all you got to do is transfer in between the different accounts. And you're going to transfer the amount of money that you need to pay these bills. Now, your payroll account. Your employees will play with you, okay? I've had employees change amounts on checks. I've had employees make up fake checks on my accounts. What we don't want is our income account compromised. So we don't want an employee who got $1,000 check but changed it to $10,000, went to a check cashing place at midnight where the employee really wasn't paying attention, and then now your income account is negative $9,000. Well, I'll get the money back. You can, but it's going to probably take your bank 3 to 5 business days to rectify the situation. Can your business survive being negative $9,000? Because the landlord doesn't care about your problems. Your supplier doesn't want to hear your excuses. Okay, so I always want to protect my income account. So you should always run payroll through a separate account. It also makes things really simple for your CPA to know that payroll's all on this account, expenses are all here. It's going to cut down on his time and his bill at the end of the year. And then last but not least, you want to have a tax/savings account. Every industry is going to have peak months and slow months. In your peak months, you want to put money aside for that tax bill that's coming at the end of the year, or for your slower months. So you have somewhere to pull from to help cover for expenses like payroll, inventory, those kinds of things. Most states are going to require some kind of annual report for your LLC or corporation where you're letting the state know, yes, I am still using this LLC name. Like I said earlier, your LLC reserves your business name in the state that you're in. So every single year, your state wants to know, are you still using the name or are you not using the name? If you're not using the name, they're going to put it back in the pot for people to have names to form their business. They also want to know, are you still using the LLC? So even if your LLC didn't do anything, you never touched it, the paperwork just sat in your office drawer, you still need to file an LLC annual report. Some states require a report and a fee to keep your LLC active. If you don't file your report, your LLC is going to be inactive. If you get sued while your LLC is inactive, that is a way for someone to come after your personal assets, because now we no longer have the separate scenario. They're now going to be able to come after your house, your car, the money in your bank. And then if you formed your LLC this year, you have 90 days to get your BOI report in, which is going to be the federal report that just says, hey, I own this LLC. If you formed your LLC in 2023 and earlier, you have till January 1st of 2025 to get your BOI or your beneficiary ownership information report in. And then every state or industry may have some certain requirements as far as licenses, permits, or insurance that you should have for your business. So you want to make sure that you have all of that. If you don't have the proper insurance, the proper license, and you're hit with a lawsuit, it's like you don't have an LLC, and now they're coming after your personal assets, and we don't want that. So how do we protect our assets? Well, forming the LLC is the first part. But running it like it's Walmart or following the corporate formalities, that's how we protect our assets. So having our business bank account, and we're not commingling funds, we're not paying personal bills with the business account, having our LLC active, having the proper insurance, license, and permits, having our operating agreement, following the corporate formalities is how we're going to keep our asset protection for our LLC. Now, like I said earlier, we never want to run multiple businesses underneath one LLC. You want to make sure that you're always separating your businesses so that everything is not like in one big pot of gumbo for asset protection reasons. If you do own assets, if you're a new business, you may not. If you're more established, you may. If your business owns assets, we never want to do business in the same entity or the same structure that owns the asset. Okay, so if I have Joyce Barbecue and Joyce Barbecue owns commercial vans and the real estate, I want to own those assets in a separate LLC. I want to separate the assets from the operating of the business, because anything that is doing business with the public can get sued. So you would form a holding company. A holding company will be an LLC. It doesn't do any business with the outside world. It's not entering into contract. It's not doing any kind of financing. Its sole job is just to own assets, okay? It will own the vehicles. It will own your trademark. It will own your copyright. It will own your real estate. You will then have a lease agreement and lease the assets to the LLC, or lease the assets to you personally to be able to use. Every single month, you're going to pay a lease agreement. If I were to go to Lexus and lease a car, every single month, I got to pay a lease agreement. Okay, so your holding company is like Lexus. You have to pay a lease fee every single month to be able to use whatever asset it is that you're using. So a lot of times people set up a holding company and they transfer the title over to the holding company and they register the car, but then they figure, well, I own the LLC and I own the holding company. Well, there's no need to write a check to myself. Yes, there is, because although you own them both, they're separate entities. They are separate from you. So we have to make this a real transaction, okay? Like I'm sitting here telling you how to protect your assets. There's a conference down the street of attorneys saying, how do you break up someone's business structure? If you were to get sued, and the opposing counsel finds out that the entity that they're suing doesn't have any assets, what do you think they're going to do? They're now going to go find the entity that does have the assets. That's what they want. They want to get paid on their judgment. If you say, oh, well, my holding company owns it and we just lease it, well, they're going to subpoena the holding company's bank statements. Is there a lease payment paid every single month? If not, that you don't have a real holding company set up, and they're going to do what's called pierce the corporate veil and then get to the asset anyway. So everything I'm saying on here, we got to make sure that we're actually doing. Business grants. So a great way of getting funding into your business that is not based on your credit, that is not based on your revenue, that is not based on any kind of financials, no P&Ls, no balance sheet, no tax returns, is going to be business grants. Business grants are a great way, especially for a startup business, to get capital because you don't have to pay the money back. When you start your business, if you max out those credit cards on the first, the note is due. If you run and get a line of credit or a loan on the first, that loan is due. If our business is making money one month and then another month, we're like a little behind the hole and we're kind of zig-zagging on that profit margin, then we don't really want to encumber our business or have any kind of additional stress to have to make another monthly payment on top of our other business expenses, okay? So what you want to make sure is you want to be applying for business grants. Now, the great thing about business grants is that they're really simple to apply for. Most grants are going to ask these common questions. Number one, what problem does your business solve? What makes your business unique from the competition? What would you use the money on, or why do you need the money? Why did you start your business? And then what challenges do you face? The basic requirements for a business grant are going to be an LLC, EIN, and business bank account. But we don't want to do anything basic. We want our application to stand out. So to make your business stand out, number one, we need to have a branded email address, okay? Gmail is not a business email address. Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, iCloud, me.com, all of those are considered personal email addresses. We want to have a branded email address. info@yourbusinessname.com. Customer service at yourbusinessname.com. We want to also have some kind of web presence. So a website or a landing page and some kind of business social media. So to get a branded email address, you would go to GoDaddy.com. You would go and purchase your domain name. After you purchase your domain, they're going to say, do you want an email address that matches your domain? For 99 cents a month or $12 for the year, you can have your branded email address. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have your branded email address. Now, what do you ask for in a business grant? A lot of times people think I got to sound like I'm struggling. I'm losing my business. I don't have any clientele. I'm about to close my doors. I need some help. That's exactly what we don't want to ask for in a business grant. You want to ask for, what does your business need that will help you make more money in 30 days? What could your business use right now that can help your business make money in 30 days? That's what you ask for. Why? Well, the business or the organization that is putting on the grant, that's giving away the money, they are going to come to you at the end of the year and they're looking for an aha story. For the $20,000 grant, what did you do? Oh, I was able to get more equipment. I was able to remodel my building and get more clients in. I was able to go run a marketing ad. I was able to go get a trademark. They want to have an aha story so when they go back to their donors the next year, they can not just get what they got the year before, but they can get more money, okay? So great things to ask for will be inventory or equipment, rent or software. Maybe you are working from home and now it's time for you to go ahead and get an office space, or maybe you're already at an office space but it's too small. Maybe you need to remodel. Maybe you already have a brick and mortar but she's a little dusty, right? Some new fixtures, some new furniture, a new paint job will kind of give her a new little look to help attract clients. Maybe you want to do a whole marketing campaign. Maybe you want to hire someone to be in your business so that you can be working on the client. So you have someone coming in answering the emails, doing social media, answering the phone, so you can then spend more time in the business. Maybe you need to get a patent or a trade secret or a trademark, right? So what does your business need to make more money in 30 days? Don't ask to catch up on bills, okay? No one's giving you extra money to catch up on bills. Nobody wants to hand out one life jacket to a sinking Titanic ship because it's not going to do anything. Don't ask for operating expenses. I just need some extra money. I just need an emergency fund sitting on the side, so in case I need to pull from it, I have some money. In business, it's grimy out here. It's eat or get eaten, kill or be killed. There is no emergency fund just sitting around, right? You have to go out and every single day get it. You don't want to ask to pay yourself. I do lashes, so I want to give 100 ladies free lashes. I charge $100, so give me $1,000. You don't want the money to come directly to you. So first of all, a business does nothing for free. So you saying pay me to go do something for free, denied. Okay? And last but not least, we're never going to talk negatively about our business. I don't care if we're robbing Peter to pay Paul and Mary. We're going to focus on the highlight of our business, okay? Now, where do we find business grants? Well, number one, I have a business grant bundle that has 1,000 business grants in there. It has training videos that explain how to fill a business grant out. You can go to your city chambers of commerce. You can go to your state. You can go to websites like Hello Alice or grantwatch.gov. You want to just look for business grants. They don't have to be industry specific. So if I'm a realtor, I don't have to get a real estate grant. If I am a business consultant, I'm looking for a consulting grant. You want to just look for a business grant. A small business grant. Hold on, I'm trying to change my screen because we are going to walk through a grant so everyone can see how simple it is to apply for business grants. Now, people buy my grant bundle all day, every day, and they don't even open it up. They're going to buy my grant bundle, and then they're going to book a call. They're going to book a grant call with me, and they're going to tell me, I need help applying for business grants. And the first question I ask is, well, have you even looked at a business grant? Well, no, I'm not good at writing, and I don't have time. And then when I show them how simple it is to apply for grants, they're like, oh my gosh, I never knew. So let me share your screen, because tonight, everyone is going to apply for the Progressive $50,000 commercial vehicle grant, okay? Let's get to it. Bam. So I literally just, oh, y'all can see my screen. I literally just got off another Zoom doing the same thing. So we kind of already did it. But this is going to be the Progressive Driving Small Business Forward grant. It's going to be for, first of all, hold on, where's my chat? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see my screen that's on the, it should be a blue line in the middle saying grant application. Can y'all see my screen for all this? Okay, great. We're all here. This is going to be the Progressive Driving Small Business Forward grant. Okay, it is due on June 14th. But we're going to fill our grant application, if not tonight, if y'all are driving or at work, tomorrow we're going to do our grant application, okay? So I'm going to walk through a business grant. Most business grants, the application are going to be online. Most business grants are going to be asking you the same questions. So when you fill this grant application out tonight, we're going to write our answers down either in our notes, on a Google sheet, in Excel. We're going to keep these answers because I always tell business owners, apply for 5 to 10 business grants every single month. Number 1 is going to increase your confidence in filling out the application. Number 2 is going to increase your chances of winning a grant. And number 3, all we're really doing is copying and pasting. So it's a way to get cash flow in all throughout the year. Okay, so here we go. Number 1, if selected, are you interested in participating in a virtual boot camp beginning in September. Of course we are. Number 2, tell us about yourself. What's your name? What's your email address? And then what's the best phone number to reach you? Next, what's the name of your business? What's your website? What's your Facebook page? What's your Instagram handle? What's your LinkedIn page? And what year were you founded? If we don't have any of these, we're going to go ahead and get those tonight. Okay, so if you don't have a website, we're going to go on GoDaddy.com and we're going to at least buy the domain names. We can put a little website here. If you're not on LinkedIn, go make you a little LinkedIn page. If you're not on Instagram, make you a little Instagram page, and now we are good to go. What kinds of business-related programs have you participated in? You're going to click one of these links or none of the above. What's your EIN? They want you to select what industry you're in. They then want your address. And then here is our first question. How would you describe your business? What are the products and or services you offer? Max 150 words. So, as of now, we are halfway through the grant application. Drop a money sign in the chat if you feel confident in filling out the questions that I've just said. Okay, we can go on. Next, what kind of business do you have? Is it an LLC? Is it a nonprofit, a sole proprietor, partnership, a C Corp? How many employees do you have? Once again, all drop down answers. What's your annual revenue? Are you pre-revenue, meaning you haven't made no money? Do you make, here are your options for how much revenue you have. And then what is your expected annual gross income for the calendar year? You choose how much you want to say you're about to make this year. How would you articulate your current business outlook? My business is steady and I'm confident that we're going to stay afloat. I'm struggling, but I'm confident that we're going to stay afloat. I am unsure of whether or not my business will be able to remain open. I am concerned my business will go under. I don't care if the account is negative. I don't care if the eviction letter is on the front door. We're not going to pick these last two. Okay, once again, we're going to highlight our business in the best foot forward. You need to pick one of these two right here. What is your business obstacle or challenge that your business faces? And maybe once again, we're picking from a drop-down button. Here's our next question. Please elaborate on your biggest obstacle or challenge in 2 sentences or less. So drop a money sign in the chat if you feel confident that in 2 sentences or less, you can explain what your biggest obstacle or challenge is in business. Oh, okay. I see money signs, so that means we can keep on applying. Do you have or have you ever taken a business credit score? Don't even know what that is. Here we go. How do you make a positive impact on the community through your core business? So, what do? Do you hire certain people? Do you pay more money? Do you have employee benefits? Do you solve a problem? You pick here. Then again, does your company do anything for the community? Now, we're not going to lie because I believe in God and karma. So if you don't do anything, then this week or this weekend, you can go to Walmart, Target, Dollar Tree, get you some deodorant, some underwear, some lip gloss, some toothbrush, toothpaste. Go drop off a little handy packs at where the homeless people are. You can go to an urban part of town and just buy some kids some food. You can go in your closet, clean out your clothes, take all them too small kid clothes, all the toys out, and go donate to the Goodwill. Go do something so you can go X off one of these boxes, okay? Now, here's our next question. Tell us about you and your entrepreneurship journey. Why did you want to become an entrepreneur and start your business in 300 words or less? Okay, so they aren't saying to start from, my great granddad. He came here from the islands and he had this vision. They don't want your whole story. They want in 300 words or less. Tell them about your entrepreneurship journey and why you wanted to become or why you want to become an entrepreneur and start a business. So if we can answer this question without a grant writer, drop a money in the chat so I can see if we can still go on, or if this application is too complicated for us to fill out. Oh, okay, we are good to go. Great. So here, if you were chosen to be in this boot camp, what areas do you think would benefit you the most? You're going to pick what you think you would learn the most from. How would you utilize the commercial vehicle in your business? Once again, picking from these options right here. Here's our next question. Describe how a commercial vehicle would impact your business. What is your company's next major milestone, and how will this opportunity help you reach it? In 300 words or less. Drop a money sign in the chat if we can, without a grant writer, talk about how having a commercial vehicle is not only going to help your business, but it's going to help you achieve your next milestone in business. We got so many signs. Okay. We can go on. How would you measure your success of participating in this boost camp? You're going to pick one of these and how you're going to measure your success. Here's our next two questions. In what ways do you and your business support your customers and community? In 300 words or less. Okay, so are you hiring from a disenfranchised group of people? Do you hire people that have a GED, a criminal history? Do you hire people in the community? Do you do any kind of fundraisers? Do you pass out things? How do you support or help the people in your community? And then next, what makes you proud of your business? What is your biggest accomplishment to date? Now, drop a number 2 in the chat if you can answer those two questions without a grant writer. Drop a number 2 in the chat if you feel like, you know what, I can answer those two questions. Okay, we got some 2, so we can keep on going. Now, you can or cannot tell them whether you're a male or female, or you don't want to say. You have the option to tell them what your race is, or you can say you don't want to say. You can identify as being LGBTQ, or you can say I don't want to say. You can let them know that you do or you don't have a disability, or you don't have to. You can say you don't want to say. Are you or anyone that's related to you or you're married to, does anyone have any kind of military affiliation? Or you cannot. You can say I don't want to answer the question. And then they're going to ask you what your age range is. Now, if anyone in your family works for Progressive, you will not be able to apply for this grant. So there will be a conflict of interest. So you got to click yes or no. And then they're going to give you a drop down button as to how did you hear about that grant. That is applying for a business grant. There are organizations giving $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 all day, every day. But most business owners feel like because I don't know how to write, I can't fill a grant application out. Organizations and businesses that are giving away business grants, they're trying to help businesses start, grow, or expand. They understand that your expertise is in your business. If you're a mechanic, you're the best mechanic in town. If you're a hairstylist, you're the best hairstylist in town. If you're a caterer, you're the best cook in town. They're not expecting to hear writing from a language PhD. They understand I'm talking to a business owner. So you don't have to be great at writing. All you have to do is speak from the heart. The reason why I tell people that you don't need a grant writer is, number one, I'm telling you apply for 5 to 10 grants a month. Number 2, who's going to sell your baby better than you? Well, who's the baby? Your business. Anyone on here who has kids and they bad? When you see your child, isn't he an angel to you? And you can, any mom on here can talk about how great little Johnny is. He is sweet. He is this. And I mean, when I was pregnant, I could feel him kicking. And he is just, he loves a watermelon and corn. And he's big into, I mean, we can talk about our kids like they are just angels, right? And we know they bad as hell. But in our eyes, they're angels. Who is better to sell your business than you? Who has emptied out their 401k? Who's drained their savings account? Who's missed out on family functions to work the business? Who's laid up late nights, early mornings, working the business, trying to get this thing to shake? You. So you are the best person to sell your business. But once you write, so when everyone fills out this application tonight or tomorrow, because that's y'all's homework, write down how you responded to these questions in a Google Sheet, a Google Note, the notes in your phone, an Excel spreadsheet, pen and paper. You can get my grant bundle. You can Google business grants. The next grant application going to ask these same questions. All you're going to do is go to your sheet and we're going to put them same answers on there. Now, this application doesn't ask for a budget because it's just giving you 50 grand. Other applications will have budgets. So now we got to come up with what we're asking for and how much it's going to cost. So a $30,000 grant, our budget needs to be $30,000. A $10,000 grant, our budget needs to be $10,000. So we will be altering how much we're asking for dependent on the grant amount, but 9 out of 10 times they're asking you the same questions. Take one Sunday out of the month, apply for 5 to 10 business grants, and do that every single month. And you're going to increase your chances of winning, but you're going to be getting free money. Money there's no payment due on the first. You don't have to have tax returns. They're not running your credit. There's no revenue requirement. Any kind of requirement for a grant is to stop a larger business from applying. So for this grant, you can't make any more. You can't make any more than $5 million to apply for this grant, and you can't have any more than 10 employees. So if you make less than $5 million and have 10 or less employees and you're a U.S. based business, you can apply for this grant. So everyone needs to be applying for business grants as a great way to get money in to either start, scale, or grow your business. Most of them are going to want an LLC, EIN, business bank account. They're not going to Cash App or Zelle you the money. The money is going to go on the business name. There are some startup grants that just say, hey, do you have a business idea? Okay, Galaxy of Stars is one. Fresh Start has one where, hey, if you have a business idea, just what's your idea? You can be a sole proprietor. But most business grants are going to want an LLC. So if you don't have your LLC, you want to go ahead and get your LLC. There is no limit to how many grants you can apply for. There is no database that is tracking who's applying to what grants. You can apply for as many grants as you want. How I said I had Joy's Barbecue and Joy's Lashes. Joy's Barbecue LLC can apply for the Progressive Grant, and Joy's Lashes LLC can apply for the business grant. So not only do we want to have a business entity for every single business for asset protection reasons, each business entity is an actual person. They can apply for business grants. They can apply for business funding. They can apply for business loans. So the more that you are, the more businesses you have, the more LLCs you have, the more opportunities you have for funding. I will put my Instagram in the chat if y'all want to follow me for other business tips. But that is the proper way, is how to structure your business and how to apply for business grants. Are we doing question and answers or no?
Yeah, great job. Great job. Let's take one question. Let's take one question just because we do have one last speaker. But listen, that was crazy value. So I'm going to pull up Ray. Ray, you're going to come up. We'll let you ask your one question, and then we'll transition over. But you're unmuted and ready to go.
Can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So I noticed that you said something about having several LLCs. Now, can you take one business and make that business like a 50% owner of the other business or the next business? Or would you just suggest all the way just clean slate have, that business owned by you, like the second business or the third business?
You can do either or.
Okay.
So if you can have a parent company own the other LLCs, and you'll have like a mama baby format, or you can own the LLCs. It's either or. Just know if you have this format, we want to make sure that all the corporate formalities are followed for both of them, because if this one were to get sued and the LLC was inactive, we didn't have our insurance, they're going to negate that LLC and then come up and take whatever this has. So you want to make sure if you have this in this structure that we're just following all of those Walmart formality rules.
Gotcha.
All right. Great question. Thank you so much. Joy, did you guys listen? I think they said this wasn't just one gem, two gems. It was a whole lot of gems. Put a one in the chat if you got a whole lot of gems from this class with Joy. Listen, one thing I love about Joy is she don't play around. She goes straight to the point. She knows what you need, what you can implement. And so was that worth sitting through a late night, y'all? Somebody said a diamond mine. Love it. Joy, listen, thank you so much. We're going to make sure that all the attendees get your contact info. And I know we've been talking offline about some special gifts that we're going to be giving to some people that take action tonight. So any last words you want to say as we end this out?
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Every 7, 8, and 9-figure business has started in a garage, an apartment complex, in a dorm room. So wherever you are, it's not where you're destined to be. It's not where you're going to end up being. Make sure that we're starting, no matter how small we are, we're starting it like it's Walmart. Because when your business hits, you want that foundation to be solid. And apply for business grants tonight.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right. We'll see you soon, everybody.
Bye.
Go make sure to tap in with Joy on Instagram.